Hi everyone, welcome to Relevant History. Today I'm going to be talking about the ancient Greeks. I'll be talking about Greece in general, so I'll do my best to try to avoid any 300 videos. Maybe I'll put like one or two or three pictures maybe, but apart from that, it's good. And please don't get me started with the Percy Jackson series. They have me fed up in school. Oh no, I'm going to use something even better than Disney's Hercules to talk about ancient Greece. What's that, you ask? Hercules in New York with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I am Hercules.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. I think I should just talk in front of the camera. So today I'll be talking about Sparta and Athens and all the important events that changed Greek history. So without further ado, let's get into the history of ancient Greece.
Okay, so before we get into 300 and all the Greek philosophy stuff, we need to know how Greece was before the Spartans or before its famous philosophers. The first thing we need to know is that the communities of Greece were very isolated. This was because Greece is a peninsula and has many islands. Also, mountains make crop growing very hard, which is why fishing and trading became very important. The geography of Greece made all these villages become so different that people didn't consider themselves Greek. Most will say, I'm from Athens or I'm from Sparta. Honestly, the only thing that villages in Greece had in common was that they spoke the same language, which was Greek. Oh, and also they lived in the same region, of course. Well, because of this disunity, a group that is not considered Greek by historians gained a large influence over the area. This group was called the Minoans, and they built an advanced civilization in the island of Crete.
The Minoans were excellent shipbuilders, and they also were very good at trading, making them very rich and the dominant civilization of the region. That was until volcanic eruptions and invasions caused the Minoans to collapse. This gave a chance for a different group called the Mycenaeans to rise and become powerful. But just like the Minoans, they probably collapsed due to volcanic eruptions and invasions around 1100 BC. This began a period in Greek history called, wait for it, the Greek Dark Ages.
I have a feeling that one day I'm gonna regret using that man screaming as a sound effect. During the Greek Dark Ages, little villages in Greece began to develop into large cities, which were called polis or city-states. Each of these city-states ruled differently, such as like Sparta, who had a council and a monarch, or completely democratic like Athens. Well, these city-states kept growing when in 492 BC, the Persian Empire from the east invaded the Greece. Hey, that rhymes. This invasion failed, however, and the Persians tried to invade Greece once again in 480 BC. To be honest, I don't know the actual causes of the Greek invasions, so I searched up for at least one of them. Oh my god, what? Why would someone put this image on something about Greece? I mean, the picture of King Xerxes from 300, which is inaccurately depicted, would actually be better than this. I actually didn't know if I could trust the information in this slide from a webpage that I found because of the picture on it. But yes, apparently this information it's actually true. King Xerxes was the son of the past king who tried in the first invasion of Persia to take over Greece. After he failed, his son who became king tried to take over as well, which is why he built a large army and you have fightings like the ones in 300. You know what, I'm just gonna go on, just get the image out of my monitor, please. So after all the interactions after the Greek and Persian wars, Greek city-states actually began to feel like they were actually Greek and they weren't considering themselves as like just being Athenian or just being Spartan. They didn't unite politically, but they began to interact more. This is where the real good stuff about ancient Greece starts to kick in. After the Persian invasions, you have the politics in Athens, such as democracy, starting to flourish, and culture just expands. This is how you get philosophers like Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle. Oh, and also there was a lot of advances in math, science, and architecture. But this mainly happened in Athens because this was the center of the Greek classical period, which is part of ancient Greek history.
So everyone says that Athens was great. They gave us democracy, a lot of literature, mathematics, but really, there was some things actually wrong with Athens, such as among all the city-states in Greece, Athens was known for being notoriously corrupt, which is, I guess, normal because, you have corruption even in the US. Also, the power of Athens was beginning to grow, and it seemed that it was challenging the power of Sparta, which started to grow tensions, which will become relevant in like 5 seconds. But you know what's most disappointing about what happened in Greece during this time? What happened to some of its geniuses? For example, Socrates. He was executed because apparently he corrupted the youth. Even Aristotle was threatened with death for apparently not praising the gods enough. Also, just as a side note, Archimedes, Greek mathematician, how did he die? Well, a Roman soldier came to him when his town was being invaded, and he told him to get up. And all he said was no, because he needed to finish his math problem that he was doing in the ground with some circles. And the guard just sliced him. Death. You know what? I'm getting too ahead with the Romans. I think I need to slow down a little. Let me backtrack. Instead, let me talk about another problem that arose during the Greek classical period, or Athens' golden age.
Remember how we talked about how different each city-state was? Well, these differences usually led to wars between the city-states themselves, even before the Persian invasions. But the worst of these wars between the city-states happened in 460 BC. This was the year the first Peloponnesian, it's so hard to say it. Peloponnesian, there you go. Peloponnesian War began, which was fought between the two of the greatest city-states in Greece, Athens and Sparta. Eventually, a peace agreement called the 30 Years' Peace ended the conflict in 455 BC. That was until another Peloponnesian War began 15 years later. I'm not even gonna state the casualties or who actually won, because really, nobody really won this war, despite Sparta actually being declared the victor. Well, these huge conflicts devastated all of Greece. This ended the Athenian and Greek Golden Age. And eventually the entire Greek peninsula was completely conquered by Philip II, who was the father of Alexander the Great. After Philip II, Alexander took power until his death in 323 BC. And just like our good friend Egypt, Greece was annexed by the Romans in 146 BC.
Well, and that's the story of how the Greeks lost their democratic ruling. But hey, it only took 2,000 years to get it back, right? Right?
Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about the Greeks, you could visit my website, which is relevanthistoryonline.com. You could click in the link below, or just type it in the search box or Google it. I don't care how you get there, the point is that you just get there. And you know what? If you go visit my website, I'll contract a squadron of the highly specialized Greek army to protect you. No joke. So to all military fans, forget about the Navy, forget about the Spetsnaz, forget about the Rangers. These are real soldiers. These are like totally legit soldiers. They can do expert stunts, such as jumping in beds. Hopefully you found this video helpful. My work here is done. I'm gonna go play Call of Duty or do something else that no one cares about. But in the meantime, remember, don't just learn history, make history.